The Barcelona Metro, known as Metro de Barcelona, has a rich history, dating back to its inauguration in 1863. Let's explore the evolution of this metro line from its inception in 1863 to its projected development in 2050, highlighting key milestones, length expansions, and notable station names along the way. The Barcelona Metro Ferrocarril de Barcelona and Sarrias made their debut in 1863, later becoming one of the first underground railway systems in Spain. The initial line, now known as Line 1, L6, was a steam-powered railway connecting the stations from Barcelona to Sarria, with Gracia and Sant Gervasi stations in between, covering a total area of 4.6 kilometers. After the initial inauguration, the metro line got a new addition of multiple infills starting in 1882, nearly 2 decades later, starting from Provença in 1882 and La Bonanova in 1887, Les Testores in 1906, and Muntaner in 1908. In total, over the span of 3 decades, the L6 metro line now has 4 infill stations to sustain the increasing passenger load. In 1924, the decision was made to electrify the Barcelona Metro, a process that was completed by 1926. This allowed for the expansion of the network, and several new lines were introduced. The GMB line, L3, was inaugurated in 1924, extending once again from Catalunya to Lesseps, with Passeig de Gràcia, Diagonal, and Fontana infill stations in between the covered distance of 2.9 kilometers. After a year, the metro line was extended to Lisieux from the starting point by 700 meters, so Line 2 is now 3.6 kilometers in total length. As part of L3, the L4 was extended in 1926, with an additional 1 kilometer to Jamie Dole. A decade later, the line had one more addition and extended up to Correos. At this point, the rail lines saw massive improvements, and the extension of the metro network took place rapidly. Again in 1926, the FMB transversal L1 line began from Catalunya station. Another rapid transit network expanded until Boderta, connecting 3.9 kilometers. Notable stations during this period include Universitat, Urvel, Rocafort, Espanya, Hostafrancs, Plaça de Sant, and Mercat Nou. After nearly 6 years, in 1932, the metro's last stop was extended to Santa Eulalia, while from Catalunya, the extension went on to Arc de Triomphe. In 1933, Marina became the last station. With multiple extensions over these few years, the L1 line now covers 5.3 kilometers. After expanding the L3 ending point to Fernando, now the L1 and L3 lines combined cover a distance of 5.5 kilometers. In 1951, the L1 line had a major extension from Marina to Clot, and within 2 years, from Clot to Navas. Then again from Navas to Fabra-Puig in another 2 years. Starting from Gracia, a new metro line branched off to Ave, Tibidabo as the new L7 line in 1954. Again, from L1 infill station La Sagrera, FMB Line 2, L5, branched off to Villapicina with substations in Congress, Maragall, and Virrey Amat. In 1961, the GMB lines were merged into the FMB lines and became one single metro line. With that, in 1967, the L5 line got an extension to Horta. Line 1 also expanded towards Torres Forspallas from Fabra-Puig in 1968. In the same year, the Fernando station closed and Line 3 expanded to Drassanes from Liceu. In 1969, Line 5 opened from L4's diagonal substation and covered 4.6 kilometers, going all the way to Colblanc with an intersection in Plaza de Santa. In 1970, once again, the station got an extension from Diagonal to La Sagrera, making this station a transaction point for Lines 1 to 3 and V. The Line V now covers an 8.5-kilometer distance. In 1972, Line 3's Urquinaona branch became L4 and Correos Station closed down. After a year, from Urquinaona, Line 3 extends to Joannix. Once again, Line 5 was extended to Pubilla Cases. L4 was extended to Sant Pau Hospital in 1974. Line 2 got a major 6 kilometers extension starting from Pueblo Second to Xena University in 1975. Within a year, Line 4 got its last station extended to Barceloneta. With this, Line 4 now has 6.2 kilometers of line coverage. In 1976, Line 5 was once again extended to a vast area starting from Pobila Cases to Sainte-Thie-des-Fonds, with multiple substations in the way. In the same year, the FCC Reina branch extended to Reina Elisenda from Sarria. Just like this, Line 4 also got its extension to Salva de Mar with an increase of 4 kilometers of metro pathway along with several infill stations along the way. In 1980, Santa Eulalia station closed, and Line 1 decreased to the Bordeta substation. After 2 years, Line 3 and Line 3B merged into one single station as Line 3. In the same year, L4 was extended from St. Paul Hospital to Via Julia. On the other side, Salva de Mar was extended to La Pau in 1983. Altogether, L4 covered 16.6 kilometers. In the same year, Line 4 also got its extension to Cornella Center. Line 1 also got an extension to Santa Coloma with a total length of 13.6 kilometers. On the other side, the extension went on to Terrassa. As of this point, the all-around distance covers 15.1 kilometers. In 1984, L4 once again extended to Pep Ventura with 4 more substations in the way. The L3 line also got an extension from Lesseps to Montbau in 1985. Within 2 years, Line 1 also got its extension to Avinguda Carolei from Terrassa. Again, in 1989, the L1 extension went from Terrassa to Belvidge Hospital. In 1992, L1's extension occurred from Santa Coloma to Fondo. Line 1, as of this point, covered a distance of 20.7 kilometers. In 1995, Line 3 substation parallel L2 got new lines to Sagrada Familia, connecting lines 3 and 5 together. In 1996, the FGC began modernizing the urban lines, which included renovations, upgraded standards, and increased speed capacity. In the process of upgrading infrastructure, the lines were also prepared for several underground facilities. In 1997, to create a rapid transaction in between the separated lines, the process of integration began. In 1997, Line 2 was integrated with Line 4. In 2003, Line 11 opened from the adjunction of Line 4 and expanded up to Conquas. Once again, in 2008, L3 extended from Canyelles to Trinitat Nova, a substation on Line 4. In 2009, a brand new metro line L9 North opened at the Can Pagzawe and went off to Kanzam, covering a distance of 3.7 kilometers. In the following year, Line 2 extends from Pep Ventura to Badalona Pompeu Fabra. In the same year, L5 extended from Horta to Val d'Hebron, another substation of L3. L9's extension to Bon Pastor made it cover 4.3 kilometers, intersecting with the L1 metro line. In 2010, the L10 North line opened, covering 2.8 kilometers from L2 substation Gorg to Ban Pastor, now an ending point for both the L9 and L10 metro lines. In the same year, both of these lines were adjoined to La Sagrada, an already existing intersection point of both L1 and L5 metro lines. Then in 2016, Line 6 metro stoppage at Sarria Station got closed, and the Sarria Reina Elisenda shuttle began to work as a full-time passenger stoppage. L9 South starts off as a brand new metro line from the Zona University substation and spreads all through 27.5 kilometers of pathways, intersecting lines 5, 1, and 8 along the way, with multiple substations in between to the airport zone. Then in 2018, L10 South opened at Colblanc, and following the same path as that of L9, branches off at Cantries Wungornal substation, going all the way to Foc, a distance of 10.1 kilometers. In 2020, it will extend to Zona Fenca from Foc Station. Again, in 2021, this spread all the way to Zalrivel. Altogether, this line covers 14 kilometers. As of 2023, the rapid transit lines are already interconnected with the upcoming major lines and intersections. Within 2027, the L9 and L10 adjunct lines will further expand Lesseps, connecting with the L3 line. Then, after a span of 3 years, the plan is to extend this to the Zona University transactional substation. Multiple substations are on their way to inauguration along the lines by 2030. In the next decade, the L2 line will expand all the way to Airport, connecting with L9. By far, the existing lines will spread and intersect in between the lines. By 2050, With the expansion of the major metro lines, the metro network will encompass a sprawling distance of 196.5 kilometers, offering commuters a seamless and efficient transportation system that seamlessly connects various parts of the city. This extensive metro network will enhance urban mobility and provide a delightful travel experience for residents and visitors. With its modern infrastructure, sleek trains, and well-designed stations, the metro will serve as sustainable transportation for years to come.